you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. The Chris Voss Show. I'll let her round off the finish there. Welcome to the big show, my family and friends. We really appreciate you guys being here. As always, when you hear the Iron Lady sing it, you know that the show is live. Welcome to the Chris Voss Show, the family that loves you but doesn't judge you, at least not as harshly as your mother-in-law, because she never liked the look of your face anyway, and you shouldn't have married her daughter. But that's between you and her and them and your problem, not mine. But she said that she keeps writing the show, so I don't know what that's about. Anyway, guys, we have always the most amazing authors. I'm seeing our guest shake her head. We have the most amazing authors on the show, and they bring you their knowledge, their insight, their experiences, their stories that enlighten and brighten your life and give you what we call the Chris Voss Show glow of whatever. I don't know. It could be radiation. Who knows? And we have an amazing author, multi-book author, I should say, on the show with us today. Victoria Schade joins us on the show. Her latest book just came out September 26, 2023. And just in time for the holidays, it is actually entitled Unleashed Holiday, which is probably has a whole different plot than what you experienced at Thanksgiving when Uncle Ted, started drinking again. Anyway, her book is entitled Unleashed Holiday, and she has a plethora of books. We'll find out how much. There's so many I couldn't count that high because I flunked second grade. Victoria Schade has been a dog trainer and writer for over 20 years. During that time, her dog duties have included working behind the scenes on Animal Planet's Puppy Bowl as the lead animal wrangler, appearing on 2 seasons of the Animal Planet show Faithful Friends, and creating dog training content and appearing in educational videos for a variety of pet-centric websites. Victoria's favorite way to share her dog knowledge is through her books, whether in a how-to manual like Bonding with Your Dog, woven into her novels like Who Rescued Hugh? My Dogs Rescued Me, and Lost, Found, and Forever. Welcome to the show, Victoria. How are you?
Chris, that intro had me laughing. My God, you're like joke a minute.
Well, we try and run it like a radio show. The old timey stuff. So
yeah, I remember.
Every now and then I'm funny. Well, give us the .coms.
I was laughing.
Tell us where. Yeah, I love it. Tell us where people can find you on the interwebs.
Oh, I love starting with that. Okay, I am a huge Instagram person. They can find me at Victoria_Schade. My dogs are the stars there. They're the stars everywhere, basically. Facebook is, do people still use Facebook? It's Victoria Schade Author. Not on really X anymore. What else is there? A little bit of TikTok.
Yeah, Victoria Schade throwing shade at Facebook there. That was
just a little bit.
A little bit of shade. SHADE at the Facebook. And I mean, there's no use in throwing shade at Twitter. Elon Musk is doing that enough as it is. So welcome to the show. Congratulations. How many books do you have? Again, you have a numerous amount of books.
I think you can count this high. So it's 5 novels and 2 how-to manuals.
Oh, that's 2 hands right there. I can't do 2 hands. I'm good with 1, but after 5, it gets confusing because then it's addition. So I don't know what that means. So give us a 30,000 overview. What's inside your newest book, Unleashed Holiday?
I'm going to preface this by saying, even though I have a sales background, I do the world's worst elevator pitches for my own books, even though I wrote them. So you're not going to be knocked off. Your socks are not going to be knocked off for this, but I'll give you my best. Okay. So Unleashed Holiday is an enemies to lovers story about 2 people with a really bumpy history. It's a dog trainer and a personal trainer. And they have a lot of beef and a lot of history, and they're thrown together because their businesses wind up in the same building. So these 2 people have these big feelings, very complicated feelings. If you're getting my drift, it seems like hatred, but maybe there's more to it. There's something simmering, and throw in all of the holidays between Halloween all the way through Christmas. We've got goats, we've got dogs, and that is Unleashed Holiday.
I'll buy it just for the goats. I don't know what that means. I give my dogs goat milk, raw goat milk. It's good.
It's really good for them, yeah.
There you go. So these two are nemesis towards each other, and I don't know. Does maybe some of the is maybe some of their conflict with each other a bit of latent, maybe subconscious sexual tension? Maybe is that part of the issue?
It's not just latent. We'll just say that there's one night that they both kind of want to put behind them in their past.
Oh, it's one of those nights.
To lovers, so
Yeah.
I think anytime you have a lot of hatred, there's in hatred. Indifference is like, no big deal. But if you really, really hate someone, you have passionate feelings, whether you want to admit it or not.
So that is an excellent point. It sounds like my first 10 divorces. You just described them perfectly. But so there is a way to find love out of hate. There's hope. I might be able to get back with all of them
all at once.
Yeah, that's probably never going to happen. That's what I've been told, at least by the attorneys, their restraining order. There you go. So now, what part did the dogs play in this? Because evidently they're up to something.
Yeah, dogs are a big part in all of the books I write. As a dog trainer, I can't help but weave in some, always dog characters and then also dog training background. So I never hit my readers over the head with it, but anyone who reads my novels will pick up dog training tips. Oh yeah.
They're multifaceted.
They are definitely multifaceted. You always learn a little something along with the romance. And in this particular book, my main character, Chelsea, is a dog trainer. So dogs are a part of her everyday life. And Andrew, the love interest / antagonist / enemy, he has a white boxer that's deaf. And he realizes that he's a little out of his depth with this dog who's kind of out of control, and he has to eat some humble pie and ask Chelsea for help. And that's kind of the beginning of them, their journey.
Yeah. Multifaceted books. So people can read your books and they can read them for the romance novel part of it. And then, there's some dog training in there. It sounds like the same way that I used to read Playboy just for the articles. You know what I mean? Sorry, I had to get that joke in there.
There's a little spice too.
Some things you can't throw away. So bickering turns to bantering. Chelsea finds herself inexplicably drawn to the man she thought she had nothing in common with. And I imagine this takes place over the holidays.
Yes, from Halloween, we've got, or Halloween, or Swalloween. Remember, we've got the dueling businesses, the personal trainer and the dog trainer. So her party is called Halloween, and his is called Swalloween. And then we have Thanksgiving, and you mentioned a drunk uncle. There's definitely an uncle causing trouble in the Thanksgiving in my book. And we end with Christmas.
Wasn't Swallowing what led to that night that they all regretted? I don't know what that means. Maybe there was some drinkoline might have been some alkaline that caused that too.
There was alkaline involved.
There was alkaline. So I want to stay away from that or not. And there's always New Year's coming up, so there's still time.
Not including New Year's in the book, but I ended it with Christmas.
There you go. That's for the second book or the next book.
Oh, yeah. Fingers crossed.
Through all your novels, are these always new characters? Is there any sort of series running through them?
There's no series. My second book, Who Rescued Who, I am still to this day, that was released in 2020. People are telling me we need to see what happens next. So if there ever will be a series, it will be based on my second book, Who Rescued Who, which is set in England, and everyone adores that book. But no, I mean, these are all standalone, so you can pick up any book and read and laugh and swoon.
Yeah, there you go. And so you can enjoy them. People love love stories. People love good to bad stories. I'll send a copy of them to all my exes and see if there's a shot. There's always that. I'm like, hey, if they can work it out in their book, there's a chance, right?
There are always lessons to learn, even in fiction.
There you go. Which also, fiction also explains my first 10 marriages because they never existed. So let me ask you this. Have you ever trained huskies or put them in your books?
I have not put huskies in my books, but I have trained a few over the years. There's one I recall in my early career. Boy, as you can imagine, what a puller. this dog, talk about sled dog, but
Yeah.
I triumphed. It was, yeah.
Did you?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Good for
You can
you.
teach every dog, dog friendly, science backed, positive dog training can transform any dog from puppy to
There is.
senior who feels, you feel like can't teach an old dog new tricks. With positive training, you can.
I have 2 Huskies, and Huskies are strong-minded. They have their own set of thoughts and stuff. Hey guys, we're shipping you to Victoria's for a few weeks. Get you trained.
But it's not just training the dogs, it's training the handler as well.
That's true.
The thing. The dogs are easy. It's dealing with the other end of the leash that can be complicated.
I used to see that a lot on who's that guy, the dog whisperer?
Oh.
Yeah. Where more times it was kind of about the people. Like, I'm like, these people are idiots. This is why the dogs are bad. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Same thing with the who's that nanny who would go in and help people with their kids that were being shitty, and part of the problem was just really the parents.
Yeah, it was a train wreck. The beginning of those episodes were fascinating because you would see how you're like, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, and you just I see that in the stores. People oblivious and their kids are running around burning stuff down and murdering people, or as we like to call it, Fridays around here. But no, Huskies are kind of their own thing. Like you give them commands and they just look at you and they're like, that's cute. We'll think about that. And now we're going to do what we want to do. But if you understand, there's kind of a thing to them where they as sled dogs, when they're told to be, continue mushing across the ice, they're designed to shut down and override their commands to save the dog team. They're designed to think for themselves. Mm-hmm. And so they're definitely a challenging dog. They sadly end up in a lot of shelters because they're incredible escape artists, unruly and
so they're so beautiful that
they are.
Think about the great mind underneath all that, the eyes and the beautiful fur.
Yeah. And then you just end up eating fur. You wake up with a mouthful of fur every day and you just go, that's great. What have I touched on about Unleashed Holiday that we can tease out? Novels are kind of hard because you can't talk about the middle or the end. But anything more you want to tease out about them or the characters?
Yeah, there's always something. I think the fun of this novel is it's a slow burn.
Oh.
Rather than it being like insta love. They do have a history together and they do have that one night that they both are trying to forget. But they have to get to a point where they really understand each other because they think they know each other. But as they start working together, as Chelsea starts training his dog, who is named Dude, by the way, she learns more about Andrew. And then on the flip side, Dude accidentally injures Chelsea.
Oh.
And they work out this trade. He pulls her down and she hurts her wrist. So part of the whole bargain is not only is she helping to train unruly Dude, Andrew is going to help her rehab her wrist because so there are all these opportunities for them to get to know each other better and maybe flirt a little bit and realize how wrong they were. There's some Pride and Prejudice going on in this book because they think they have this understanding of who the other person is, only to discover that they were completely wrong.
I should try this with more people or nemesis in my life. Maybe the sex is better. I don't know.
Depends on who it is, I think, because you could get in trouble.
That's true. And sometimes, the restraining order's in the way. But, I've met those couples that they're like, I'm like, you guys fight a lot. And they go, but the makeup sex is great. And you're like, I don't know. That's those fight. If you're having to call the cops every other night, all right, come on, really? But then you kind of go, I wonder what that's about. Anyway, so what's up next for you? Future books? Anything in the can? Anything you're working on?
I'm definitely working on something. I'm about halfway through as of yesterday. My next book, and I can't talk too much about it. It's there are dogs, but
I was just gonna pull that joke. Are there dogs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry to step on your line there. Yes, there are dogs and romance.
There will be dogs.
There will be dogs. Always. It's my brand.
Maybe you should do. What was the line from that famous movie? There will be blood. Maybe you should do a book called "There Will Be Dogs." I don't know what it means, but
well, let me tell you, people are so worried. Speaking of blood and my books, people think not necessarily this one because the cover, it's cartoony and fun.
Yeah.
some of my other books have photographs on the cover of dogs, and I will be asked so frequently, does the dog die?
Oh.
No, never. It's happily ever after.
Oh, that's good.
Of the leash. I would never write that.
You would crush some people.
Oh, I know. And there are books out there doing that. I don't look into that. Yeah,
That gives me a good question for you. Do you feel like your romance novels better or have an added touch? Because, we have a lot of romance novels that come on the show, but I don't know that they usually involve pets too much or make them kind of a real featurette, especially on the cover. Do you feel that maybe people are drawn to your work a little bit more because of the dog?
I think the dog-loving audience is definitely drawn, but shocker, not everyone likes dogs. I still can't wrap my head around that concept.
No one cares about those people.
Right.
Yeah, they're just, especially if they like cats. There's no reason.
Cats are good. I love cats. They're a major. There's a kitten in my next book. I like those. Yes, like that. Why not both?
Does the dog eat the cat? I'm just kidding, people. I'm just being mean. There you go. No, cats are wonderful things. I think it's good for people to have pets. The only thing I don't like about cats is they're a lot like girlfriends. They love you 50% of the time and hate you the next and want to destroy you. And so that's kind of how they work.
It depends on the cat. I mean, some of them are aloof and some of them are dog-like and very loving.
Yeah, some are just evil. I mean, I watch all the videos where they knock stuff off and they're, they chew on your TV monitor and break it, and they're just
mischievous, not evil.
They're mischievous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Cats are good for people who like cats. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I mean, dogs. I think your books definitely must cut apart pretty cool with the element of having dogs in them, because people love dogs, and people that don't love dogs don't matter. So I don't think they qualify as people either.
That's a new slogan.
What's that old saying? If you ever have your dog and they don't like a certain person, that's usually a sign.
Not always. I do. Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with that, because sometimes maybe it's the type of person that the dog's never met before. So rather than writing this person off, like maybe someone with facial hair and a hat, and the dog isn't familiar with that type of person. So I wouldn't use that as law. It's interesting to consider, but
I think what my belief system is people who don't like dogs, like they just, I don't know, maybe they don't get dogs or something. I just kind of see them as, I don't know, not fully developed human beings and emotionally or something. But I don't know. I could be prejudiced, and probably am.
They might not have had exposure too. That's the other thing.
That's true.
Character in one of my books, she was frightened by a dog as a child. And that happens a lot too, where you have a bad experience early on and it forms your impression until you're lucky enough to have the chance to meet a dog who changes your perspective, which is exactly what happens in the book.
There you go.
When I was bitten by a dog as a child, it looks like a shark tooth on my wrist. A German Shepherd bit me when I was very, very young.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but here I am all these years later, making a career out of it.
You're getting revenge. There you go.
Oh.
So, I mean, do you ever think about putting huskies in your book, or why do you hate huskies?
Oh, I don't hate them at all. It's funny. Lately, a lot of people have been requesting their breeds. I'll get I did a signing over the weekend, and someone was like, "What about Yorkies? Can you put a Yorkie in the book?" What are you going to do, Yorkie? Yeah. I'm filing away all these breeds I need to start adding into my book.
You're going to have to write a lot of damn books for all the varieties of dogs out there.
I would love that. That's my dream.
There you go. You go through all the spectrums of dogs. I don't even know how many variations of dogs there are, but I don't know. There you go. I've been called one on Tinder, but that's a different story. Anyway, anything more you want to tease out on the book before we go, or future works that you're doing?
I guess just, pick up Unleashed Holiday for the dog lover in your life. It is lighthearted, but there are some deeper themes with family and, different family challenges. It's, like I said, it's funny. You will laugh, you will swoon, there's romance, and I think it makes the perfect gift. If you want a signed copy, my local bookshop, can I shout them out?
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, the Doylestown Bookshop in Doylestown, Pennsylvania has signed copies, and if they happen to run out, just put a little note in your order, and I will make sure to sign it for you. Plug for supporting your local independent bookstore. Now more than ever, we need to do that. So yeah. And if your bookstore doesn't carry it, you can always request it and they will be able to get it in for you.
There you go. Get them in. I see some other books here that sound really good. Bonding with Your Dog.
That's my first book.
Yep, that's why I always take my dogs to the bar with me so we can bond. Secrets of a Dog Trainer. Problem solving for a well-behaved dog. I like the bonding with your dog. It took me a while to really understand dogs, and dogs really saved me as a human being because I was a horrible human being. I mean, I haven't changed that much, but no, they really helped put me in touch with my soul and my balance and just everything. And she taught me to be a warm, loving human being, which I'm still struggling with and regretting. But learning to bond with your dogs is so important, and they teach you so much. They teach you how to be a better human. I mean, they really are the best people. Dogs are. I don't even know why. I was telling this on Facebook. I said, I'm pretty sure at this point that we can determine that dogs are aliens and they're just kind of here to visit us and, help us out along the way. And then about 10 years or 15 years, about all they can take of us before they have to return to whatever planet they're from. Just be like, okay, enough with these people. I mean, we can only help them so much, and we'll send somebody else to, tag team and do the next step. Cause I tried.
It's a really unique perspective. I like it.
Yeah. They're the ones that go to heaven. We're stuck going to that rainbow bridge or whatever. Anyway, guys, thank you very much, Victoria, for coming on. Give us your .com so people can find you on the interwebs.
VictoriaSchade.com. It's SCHADE. Instagram, Victoria_Shade. Facebook @VictoriaSchadeAuthor. And I think that's it for all of that.
There you go. Thank you very much for coming on. Thanks for audience to tune in. As always, take care of your dogs. Get to know them, bond with them, love them. Don't be one of those people who puts them in the backyard, damn it, chains them up and forgets about them. I will come for you. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Order up Victoria's book wherever fine books are sold. It's Unleashed Holiday. It just came out September 26, 2023, and get all of her books. And the beautiful thing about her books is they make great Christmas gifts. So that's coming up. Buy a whole set of them. You can, get those great Christmas deals and all that good stuff and give them away for the holidays. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Be good to each other. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time. And